service line when he gets it right. Not going to get another go though, as Kento Miura puts his second point of the game away. Had to argue for his first one, no argument there. Lots of positives out on the floor, lots of good players there for Wolfdogs Nagoya, but without Norbert Hubert, they're missing a mighty force down the middle. Talking of mighty forces, Muzerski defended, and he then pulls a bit of defence himself. Doesn't get the return ball, that goes to Takahashi, who splats it past the block, and in turn, the attempted play from Mizumachi is ruled illegal by the referee as a carry. Just a sea of red today. Suntory fans looking for a winning return to the Yokini Arena. Oh, wow. Great hold on the block there from Ren Oniki, and that's a bonus point in this rotation. That's a bonus point. Mizumachi will be annoyed with himself for taking that option. These two rotations are where Wolfdogs will be looking to score, not concede. Very nice. Very nice. Two of the superstar Japan internationals right now. Kento Miura going up against Ran Takahashi. Miura wins that one. Three points to Miura. Pass from Kyuka. Not his best, but he knows he'll be getting plenty of service traffic today, as will Bugera on the other side of the net. Renaniki with a bit of subtlety. Muzerski back to the front line, so this is now where Suntory start to return to three strong rotations, maybe four. Good dig from Ogawa. Oh, very nice out of the pipe from Kliuka. He is definitely up for today's game, and do you know what? I'm just going to make a suggestion here from a psychological point of view. Alan Diamas, fully fit and able to play today, might just have sparked the interest of Igor Kliuka, because he has started in brilliant shape. Early timeout for Valerio Baldaman.
Priority on Takashi's service, not serving, not
Great chance to listen in to the key words from Valerio Baldavan. There's the backup players for Wolfdogs Nagoya. Timothy Carl has a chance to play today. They don't have the same strength and depth as Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. Kenji Sato looking to come in as a blocker, and then they've got Rui Takahashi, Kotaro Kai, and potentially Alan Diamas as serving substitutes, if not more. Good start this from Kento Miura. He is the player that will carry Wolfdogs today, and he knows it. As does that man, Hideyomi Fukatsu, and he'll be looking for his southpaw opposite on plenty of occasions. Right, Mizumachi has to deliver from the baseline today. His aces will be crucial to Nagoya getting some kind of foothold in a set, and that's not the ace he was expecting, but that's number 50 for the season. Classic, isn't it? A man who has demolished teams from the service line gets a triple ace for his 50th. He won't care. That's more like it. Oh, good touch. And a massive point chance. Not taken straight away by Wolfdogs. Still a possibility, and Bugera's put it wide. Oh dear. So important, these points. And the chance for Mizumachi to serve again after that absolute thunderbolt of a hit. Very well played by the end, in the end, by Igor Kliuka. Got totally beaten, but he somehow got his hands under the ball. Bagheera, good pass. Yeah, nice. Look good. Look really good in the air. Taito Mizumachi out of that pipe. So, a very good start this by pretty much all the attackers. Nobody really struggling, everybody going at this, but for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka, virtually 100% success rate right now from the offense. Not quite so from the service line, Renaniki. This is by way, and it's not a high-risk serve either, so that's frustrating for him. Right, back to another serve that can cause problems. Kento Miura, as a left-hander, puts a bit of bend on this ball. Well, I don't know how much of a decision to leave that was in the hands of Igor Kliuka. I think both he and Takahashi were beaten there. It just happened to be out. Let's give them the credit. Good eye from those two. Heavyweight serve from Kliuka, from Mizueski. Kliuka gets the hand in the block. And then an even bigger hand from Taishi Onodera. And it's another mismatch against Sekita that isn't fully exploited. They take on the middle, and the middles, blocking-wise for Suntory, are just too good. Bagheera stopped. And they're not hiding Sekita on that rotation either. So that's got to be Bagheera's target. Sekita gets a block on Sato. There you go. That's what Bagheera needs to be thinking every time. He's got to be asking Hideyomi Fukatsu to give him at least a ball he can do that with. And he's got to get his feet there as well if it's a little bit inside. He's still got Sekita to go at on that rotation. And the rotation before, so Bagheera needs to up his scoring rate. That'll do, that'll do. Very nice. From the service line, ace for Ayman Bagheera. What a strike as well, beautifully hit. Timeout then, called by Olivier Lecar. Just sensing that momentum swing for Wolfdogs. Here's the big man, Dmitry Mizerski. I think he's been a real team player this season. He's always been a talismanic figure for Suntory in his 8 seasons, but this season he's looked to really settle in as part of the fabric of the performances, and he's been impressive. Bagheera touches the net with this next serve. Kliuka manages to pass, and that allows Sekita to release Taishi Onodera for his first shot of the game. So Miura and Bagheera taking it to Suntory, 4 points apiece. And Bagheera out for a passing replacement. This is strictly about ball control from the back as captain Shuzo Yamada comes in. Kliuka helps the visitors with the error. So Yamada being used for these 3 rotations. I don't think he'll stay on front line. I think it'll be a return for Bagheera. Pass and defense, and no defense required because the little tickle off the net from Sato produces the ace off Kliuka. And after a strong start from Kliuka, just getting tested here by Wolfdogs. He's Nice response on the pass. Just a point in it. Another good hit. Kliuka is under pressure here. Beautiful strike. You see what I mean about that hitting contact from Ran Takahashi right now? It is so calm. Cracks it again. Ran Takahashi going well. Then he bounced a ball in the warm-up that got a round of applause from Olivier Lecare. It was a quite exquisite hit. Oh, and then an exquisite ace from Taishin Adera. It's a hybrid serve that has caused a few problems this season. That was moving. Quite a quick reaction there from Valerio Baldovan to jump in with that timeout. Three seasons at Wolfdogs, just like his opposite number Olivier Lecare at Sunbirds, Valerio Baldovan. Italian coach, working here in Italy. It's Fugazzu just communicating his next attack patterns. Not even a vague attempt to disguise the call behind his shirt, which a lot of setters do in the modern game. Nice serve, and the ace man is beaten. Mizumachi given a dose of his own medicine there. That's a very clever, pacey ball down the line. So he's beaten Mizumachi to his right, and now he's beaten him to his left. Good serving from Taishin Adera. Touch, Sakita keeps it alive, and Kliuka makes the play beautifully. It's an out-of-system set, but it's hit with real venom. Once again, contact on the ball is just sending it into play so sharply. And this is a great service run from Onodera. Good dig. Oh, what a play. That is sensational. One of the best defensive digs from a middle player you will ever see. That is unreal from Taishin Adera. Always spectacular when a beautiful piece of defense is finished with a really impressive hit. And Onodera is flying. And at last, Kento Miura has earned the side out, but not before some serious damage is done. And now, this is where Wolfdogs Nagoya have to work, and all those points conceded on that serve on a rotation when they should be scoring is going to be painful. Better from Kliuka. Very nice from Muzerski. Not a bad effort, that, from Kenta Ichikawa. Really got his hair parted by the big Russian. Still apologising while the ball was in play. Good dig again from Sakita. No, not this time. Not this time. Muzerski misses as Suntory make another unbelievable touch in defence. Bagheera returns. We've seen a lot of personality and expression and emotion from the players down on court at the moment. They're playing with real joy, both sides of the net, enjoying themselves. Miura leads the scoring charts with 5. Belting serve from Mizumachi, saved by Suntory. And again from Ogawa, now the chance to score. Oh my goodness. Well, it wasn't a spike this time. from Ran Takahashi. It was just the jazz hands that he produces at least once or twice a game, and they get rid of that dangerous Mizumachi serve. Well played, Agawa. Two brilliant touches. So Wolfdogs don't capitalise on their couple of rotations where they really should be scoring. And Suntory don't capitalise on the Takahashi serve with the best block in the front court of Kliuka at 2:09, Mazurski at 2:18 and Renaniki at 2:04. And that mighty offence not called into play on that occasion. Denda misses. And the first set drifting away quite quickly. And as well as Wolfdogs have played, Suntory have found some brilliant scoring runs. And they might get another one here with serving substitute. Ran Takahashi's brother Rui comes into the play. Goes for it. The pass is good and the block is better. Sato with a rather ponderous swing in the middle, and Onodera has blocked it straight back in his face. Onodera moves to joint top scorer on 5 with Ran and Miura. Plenty of set points then. Rui can go for this. Off pacer, out of system. Bugera's in trouble. Slowed down by the block. And that is priceless volleyball. Circus time for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka as they bring out the trick shots to put Wolfdogs Nagoya away in set 1. 25-17. What an impressive response from the league leaders. To a few weeks of underperforming, they have hit hard in set 1 today. Well, that scoreline does not reflect the effort that was put in there by Wolfdogs Nagoya, because they produced some seriously good serving. They just weren't allowed to turn that scoreboard over with consistent side-outs, and but for Kento Miura, they might have just struggled a bit there, and it felt like they did in the end on the scoreboard, but I promise you, Wolfdogs played pretty well in that set. Just wasn't good enough, and they really seem to have inspired this Suntory Sunbirds team into a different gear. Time for a bit of audience participation as the ginormous Suntory Sunbirds flags come out to be hoisted above the heads of the fans in those top tribunes. There we go. There's got to be a big flag print shop in Osaka somewhere. Well, one of the most established franchises in Japanese volleyball. Suntory Sunbirds. Been around since 1973, and they're still up there and bidding for titles. Just genius. And as the highlight reel proves, there was some pretty sensational volleyball from both sides in that opening set. Taisha Onodera in your picture with the best pickup from a middleman so far this season in the SV.League. He created one of those points. He's also scored 5 of his own. Suntory dominant then in set number 1. Wolfdogs stars Mizumachi and Miura have got to go some in this match to get them back in the game. Wow, 63 82.2% efficiency, 3 blocks, 3 aces. It's all good for Suntory. Set number 2 then. In the black, it's the visitors, Wolfdogs Nagoya, chasing the game against runaway league leaders, Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. His 29-game winning streak booked them a place in the playoffs very, very early. They're already guaranteed top 6. Wolfdogs as well. But they were outclassed in that opening set, despite the efforts of Kento Miura, Taito Mizumachi and Eamon Bugera. Katsu to serve. That was very nicely played. It was a good attack. The ball wasn't quite on the money from Sekita. I think he set that a bit higher than Takahashi wanted, but he held his form in the air there, Ran, and hit it beautifully. Big blocked front line for Suntory. Well, Ram puts it in this time to make sure the block gets a chance, but too strong from Ryotodenda. Right, Taito Mizumachi, 1 ace in the game so far, a trickle ace, and then some thunderbolt serves that have managed to gain nothing for his team. And that's not going to get anything either. See, that is a very tough 3-man block to get past. All 3 players well over 2 meters tall. One of them nearly 3 meters tall, Dmitry Mazerski. But it's Igor Kliuka that makes the block. I'm only joking, he's not really that tall. But he is one of the tallest players in world volleyball. Not quite the tallest in the league anymore. Off the top of the block, chance to score here. Well, under pressure, they've done it. They've finally sided out. And Mizumachi out of that pipe again, very impressive. He's not been the top scorer for the last few games, Dmitry Mazerski. He also missed a couple of matches with injury. That was against Blazers a few weeks ago. And the result was that Suntory got thumped in straight sets, 2 games on the bounce. That was the end of their winning streak. But with Mazerski back in, they look so impressive. Yeah, it's just brilliant to watch. Early problem then for Valerio Baldaman's Wolfdogs. Does he go to the timeout? Not yet. Going to give Mazerski another serve. Well, doesn't regret it initially and won't regret it now. Bugera with a tip from way behind his head. He's manufactured a great point there. Everything they do at the moment is working. Suntory's side out is so efficient. Six points from Idera. Miura on 6 points, but Ran now has emerged as the top scorer on 8. Good serve from Kliuka. Love that contest between Miura and Takahashi. That is a lot of fun, and at the moment Miura's winning it. He hasn't been stopped yet. Ran got pretty close to him there. Bagheera to serve them. 1 point in it, and that one, well, you can't get a serve go more wrong than that in the modern game. What on earth did he hit that with? Came off his elbow. Right, here's the man who did all the damage in set one, Taishi Onodera. Another cracking serve. And a good reuse from Mizumachi. Forced through eventually by Sato. So it just feels like there's a few rotations that Wolfdogs need to survive. That's probably the best word. If they can survive them, can they then score to follow up? And that's been the issue right now. They can't seem to find those points in the rotations where their offense definitely outpowers the block of Suntory. That now disappears as Sekita goes to the back line. Another great block to slow things down. Out of the net from Sekita as he touched the net. They're going to get a mid-point challenge, and Sekita celebrates because he knows he hasn't touched the net. So this will prove to be a lost challenge, and if you challenge mid-rally and you lose it, you lose the point. Don't replay. And Valerio Baldovan, if the reaction of Masahiro Sekita is anything to go by, Valerio Baldovan's just cost his team a point, which sounds a bit harsh to say. That looked like one of those I've logged myself out again moments. Well, according to Sekita's celebration, he hasn't touched the net. It's going to be an easy one to spot this. He thinks it was him playing the ball into the net that made it move. So Sekita might have been conning us all, and he might have touched the net. We're about to find out. But a rather nervous Valerio Baldovan waits for the video result here, and it's one they need. They need this point. Ooh, well, that reaction from the crowd tells you a little bit of a story, followed by proof that he's okay. That's why Masahiro Sekita was celebrating. It isn't a fault. So, challenge lost, point lost. Not much going right for Wolfdogs Nagoya at the moment. Until then. 9-7. After the Masahiro Sekita serve error. Not really what you want to be doing off the back of winning a big challenge like that. Opposition setter then, Hideyomi Fukatsu with the service. Good hit, Kliuka under pressure once more. And Mazurski defended brilliantly. Denda gets a good reuse off the joust, and Bagheera out of the back line. Unfortunately treads on the attack line, which is illegal for the backcourt player. Got to take off from behind that line. You can land in front, you just have to take off from behind. Good serve, good pass. Block is strong from Kliuka. And again, but he's touched the net. Dear me. Amazing, isn't it? In amongst all the incredible volleyball that we've seen in this match, there's still room for the basics. Straightforward net touch. Lets Nagoya off the hook because they were struggling in that rally. Back to the Mizumachi Thunderbolts. How does he do it? Nice try from Bagheera. Got a good hand on that. Just couldn't direct it to one of his players, and Mazurski ups his score to 5 points. Dmitry Mazerski then not being overused by Masahiro Sekita. Nice diverse offense right now from Suntory. What a hit. That's an amazing shot, and that's past two very tall blockers. Miura and Onodera. Just got a bit of a seam there, Kento Miura, and he works it well. The touch. Good diving dig as well by Denda. But not the best from Bagheera. And this time, no showboating, no circus tricks, just power and accuracy from Ran Takahashi. Too easy for Suntory. Playing really well today. On the home side. Into the chest of Mizumachi. Nothing he could do with that, and nothing that Kento Miura could do to save the day either. And this is the problem. When you're under pressure like this, you can tend to produce those compound errors. And while all coaches will talk about trying not to do something negative after one negative has happened, it's very difficult to change that. In comes Timothy Carr then. French international replaces Tunisian international. But a tricky situation for him. And he is roofed straight up. The wing spikers have to put in a shift. They've got to get their feet to the ball to open the line over Sekita. If they don't do that, they're going to suffer. Onodera, Oniki are going to cause them real problems every time they take on the angle. Overpass, out of bounds, ace, Mazerski, who goes to 6 points. Timeout in this second set by Valerio Baldaran, but I think it's all gone away from them already. That lost challenge really put them on the back foot. Horrible welcome to the court there for Timothy Carr.
Don't be afraid of pressure, just be aggressive. I want to press the ball, push the ball.
So positive scoreboard created by Suntory is now allowing them to play with real confidence from the service line in particular. Taishi Onodera's run put the first set to bed. And there's a real danger here that Dmitry Mazerski can take the second set away from them with this service run, if he hasn't already. Well, timeout has done its job. Mazerski misses the baseline, but it's still a 5-point deficit that Wolfdogs have to wrestle with. Can this man drag a few back? Good serve. Might have been going out. Takahashi played it. And Kliuka comes up with a very fine out-of-system point. Yeah, that was going out. Doesn't matter though if you still win it. Kliuka then to follow the Mazerski serve. He goes off pace, but still with power. Carl gets his point, and the two Russians getting in each other's way there. Kliuka's seen the funny side of it. If things had been a bit tighter, they might have had a discussion there. He was all over that defence until Mazerski deflected it. Sato then at 2:05 stands tall. Mizumachi and Fukatsu not as tall either side. And it just makes that blocking detail against the likes of Mazerski virtually impossible. And Mizerski, that's good from him. Just goes straight to Sakita to let him know that that was a dime set. He just didn't hit it very well. Sakita still feels he should have given him a bit more width on that ball, but Mizerski, for a big man, he's very good at getting his feet to things. And his hands. Better defensive effort from him this time, but Mizumachi's power is too much. Just one of those players that is so physically so well connected. Everything works in order. And just like Takahashi, he generates serious power. This time, though, with Fukatsu hidden, the blockers make their way all the way across, and Ran falls victim to a wide set. And a good block. Can't get himself to double figures then. He's on 9, Miura's on 8. Onodera, Mizerski on 7 apiece. Those are your top scorers. Better serve from Sato. Good defence from Carl. And good defence from Sato. Ball still in play. Suntory go again. Mizerski this time stings the fingertips. Up to Mizumachi. Just having a word with Onodera. Gotta hit it harder, buddy. Oh, it's Ren, sorry. Ren Amiki not putting his first one away. Brilliant from Ogawa. The defence in this match has been stunning. And again. And that is something else. What a pick-up from Ishikawa. Still in play, though. And that is out. Mizerski wanted to make absolutely sure of it. And he's just letting Lekar know that it's out. Don't challenge, coach. I've missed it. What a great rally. Fantastic, both sides of the net. 4 points in it, first positive in a while for Nagoya. There's another positive, good defense from Fukatsu, but not great from Mizumachi. That far off the net and you go for the recycle, you can't play that recycled ball. You've got to rely on a teammates. That was high risk stuff from Wolfdogs. Good pass from Miura. Slapped cross court from Mizumachi. This might be wide. Well, Fukatsu says in. Don't bother with the challenge. But Olivier Lekar, on the basis of one of his backcourt players calling that, has decided to have a look at this. Mizumachi hits it hard, so he gets good compression on the ball. Lekar looks through the net to Hideyomi Fukatsu, and the two setters have a quick discussion. Friendly one. Timothy Carl also involved, compatriot of Lekar's. Oohs and ahs from the crowd usually indicate it's gone against. Well, we're waiting to see. He's got this, you know. He's actually got it. Well, that was Lekar and Takahashi in tandem, making a very good call, coach and captain, for the win. It's Takahashi that requested the challenge from 6. And then he bangs that. They're in all sorts of trouble here. Wolfdogs Nagoya. Mizumachi misses a second ball. Second timeout for Valerio Baldovan. His team are in tatters again.
Also, change them. Come on. Hey. when we play defense, you need to set the ball close to the net. You need to hit the ball. Okay? And if not good situation, we recycle the ball.
Well, I'd agree with you, Valerio, on 2 rotations. When you've got that ball into transition, just chuck it tight on the net out on the wings. But there's 3, 4 rotations where you've got Mazerski or Kliuka patrolling that tight set. And they've patrolled it very well. Right, Mizumachi under a bit of pressure here. As is Fukatsu. Where does he go? Sets opposite to the reliable Miura. Job done. Good service run though from Ran, and he very deliberately got the ball into court with a little lower risk to allow the blockers to function. Got the bonus of 2 miss hits from Mizumachi, who hopes that he won't miss hit this now. Needs some aces, Mizumachi. Great serve. Fabulous. Truly fabulous out of the back line from Ran. The quality of volleyball we're seeing today from Suntory Sunbirds Osaka is as good as we've seen all season. Olivia Lacar will be delighted. Once again, Rui is back in to serve. Saw out the last set. Got a few more points to play with this time around. Well, just like Kotaro Kai, he doesn't miss many when he comes in as a serving substitute. Another change. Not unusual to see middle players substituted into serve and play defence. Such is the high skill level of the middles here in Japan, and it's Masahiro Yamazaki, second season Wolfdogs player, that comes in to serve and play that exact job. Tight set, Kliuka left-handed. He can hit with his left without any problems at all, but tips it through the block for 23-16. And Wolfdogs Nagoya here in all sorts of bother against a Suntory team that have hit top gear. It's not getting any easier with Mazerski to serve next. Couple missed on the bounce from him then. Admittedly, the last serve he missed was at the end of a massive run of serves. But that will be just a slight change in rhythm that Wolfdogs Nagoya will certainly welcome. Can their right side deliver? Off pace, passed easily. Nice. Too nice, and spare a thought for Sato. The diversity of Sekita's offence today has made it virtually impossible for the middles to function really well for Wolfdogs Nagoya. So both Sato and Denda having a rough time of it today, and on a good pass it's getting even tougher. In comes Kenji Sato. So left-handed middle blocker comes on as a blocking substitute. Out goes Sekita. No setter on the floor, and ace from Kliuka means they don't need a setter. They don't need a block either. Suntory Sunbirds Osaka are flying. 25-17, 25-17. And pending this challenge, they lead this match by 2-0. So Valerio Baldovan delays the departure to the dressing rooms. Remember, that's where the players go in the break between sets 2 and 3. Yeah, it looked like it was in right on the back of the line. Confirmed as an ace for Igor Kliuka to finish the set. 2 challenges lost in that set from Valerio Baldovan. And Suntory Sunbirds lead by 2-0 A very, very good performance by them so far. And they head back to the dressing room. Stay with us then on VBTV. We'll return with more world-class action from this game in around 10 minutes' time.
以上、各社のご協賛をいただいております。また、SV リーグ公式 SNS では、観戦がもっと楽しくなる情報を配信中。皆様のフォローお待ちしています。
さあ、サンバーズファンの皆さん、前半2セット選手ということで、この勢いをそのままにハーフタイムの時間です。今日は皆さんと一緒にこのアリーナに大きな波を作って一つの街を完成させていきます。かつて中央日本国際建物グループプレゼンツビルドナウェイブ。さあ、まずは中央日本国際建物グループの企業理念である人と社会に安心と感動を共に考え、共に作り、共に未来へ。こちらに出てくる安心、感動、共に未来、この4つでタイトルを4ブロックに分けます。まずは A ブロックの皆さんはベージュ色の皆さんです。ベージュ色の皆さんは安心ブロックです。クラップクラップクラップクラップクラップ。安心ブロックの皆さんナイス。続いてはアウェー側エンドの皆さんです。皆さんは感動ブロックです。感動ブロック大きな拍手。もっともっと皆さんは感動ブロックです。そしてベンチサイド側の皆さんは共にブロック
サントリー水中央日本土地建物グループ株式会社、ダイヤモンドパートナーは岩谷産業株式会社、プラチナパートナーは須野食品工業株式会社、ボード池運輸株式会社、グリーンだからリボン食品株式会社、シックスウェイ株式会社、ゴールドパートナーはご覧の各社様です。パートナーはご覧の各社様です。オフィシャルサプライヤーはご覧の各社様です。サントリーサンバーズ大阪は以上のパートナー様、サプライヤー様、そしてファンの皆様と大同生命 SV リーグを戦ってまいります。皆様の日頃のご支援誠にありがとうございます。
Teams back in the Yukini Arena here in Maishima then, and ready to go with set number 3. So far, so good for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka. They've been brilliant in this match. And while the score sheet has been a little one-sided, it's been fascinating to watch. And we've seen a very high quality of volleyball, and at times from Suntory, just out of this world. Right, Can they keep the rhythm going? That's always the challenge here in the SV.League after the break. Wolfdogs Nagoya are certainly playing well enough to cause Suntory a problem if they drop their level. But at the moment, it's all good. Suntory then 25-17, 25-17. They lead the match by 2-0. Good to go then with set number 3. Can Wolfdogs salvage something from this game? Norbert Huber, remember, today for Wolfdogs Nagoya. That has definitely made a difference down the middle. Pressure's on then for the team in black. Wolfdogs Nagoya chasing the game. And the third place team in the Daido Life SV.League getting absolutely thumped at the moment by the league leaders, Suntory Sunbirds Osaka, and the reigning champions going very well indeed. 2 sets up. First point on the board then from the setter, Hideyomi Fukatsu, all-star setter earlier this season. Another all-star setter, Sakita, feeds Renoniki, who in turn gets the ball to Mizerski. They think it's down, it's been challenged. Now this might not be useful for Suntory. Is that Kento Miura saying it's down? Let's see. Ooh, did Mizumachi get his hand fully under the ball? Mizerski says no, and the grin from Taito Mizumachi suggests that, yeah, it's not going to go his way. Well, I thought it was a fairly risky one there, but it might be fine. We've already seen one mid-rally challenge from Valerio Baldovan, the coach on the other side of the net. He lost that in set 2, and from there, the second set disappeared. Olivier Lecar may have a little bit more luck. He's already had one successful challenge with the ball in or out against that man, Taito Mizumachi. And he's got another successful challenge here. You kind of know whether it's just caught the end of your fingertips and hit the floor, and he knew that. Olivier Lecar then, second successful challenge, produces a point for his team. And that's a messy ball. Very, very well hit. There was no other option but to send it out to Miura, and he has hit the cover off that. And if he'd missed it, or if the ball was still in play, he had 3 of his teammates on the floor. So that was massively important. And a collision for Bagheera going after that ball. Tunisian left side player starting this set. Pokey tip from Mizerski, comes over. Mizerski forced to defend again. Oh, wonderful block from Sato. And at last he's got himself into the game. Great wide arms on Run Takahashi, and he's got him. 3-1, Wolfdogs Nagoya. The first time they've had anything resembling a lead in this match. Mizumachi trying to extend it, and that's not good. That is not good. Sakita to Renoniki, and Aniki very slow to the ball and just cuffs it into the middle of the net. Early timeout this time for Olivier Lecar as the match takes an interesting twist. Nothing to say there for Coach Lecar. It was just a case of stop it and let his experienced stars get the restart they need. Some encouragement here for Wolfdogs. Positive scoreboard for Taito Mizumachi to serve with. First time he's been in that position in this match today. One of the most devastating servers in world volleyball right now. Has the ball in hand. Timeout just affecting that rhythm enough. Ren trying to make up for the early error. Puts the ball in court. Mazerski gets the block on Beguera, one-on-one. It's a little strange here, the actual technique. Let's have a look. Just holds his arms up. Oh, it's pretty good. Got his hands very close together there. And Beguera can't find a way past. Beguera tested again, gets the ball again. And what an incredible piece of double blocking from Mazerski, because exactly the same thing has happened again. This time, much bigger spread on that block and far tougher for the Tunisian to beat him. 4-all then. Straight away the recovery. Oh, goodness me. Well, this is getting a bit scary now. 3 blocks on the bounce from Suntory. And Valerio Baldovan calls his first timeout of set 3. Well, that positivity was short-lived, wasn't it, for the visitors? Taisha Nadera, the man that makes the 3rd block to follow Mazerski's 2.
Don't find the floor. Block out. Okay.
Well, he's been preaching that all game, Baldovan, block out. So he doesn't want his hitters trying to beat the blockers to space. He wants to use the block, and it's an excellent piece of coaching, because when the Wolfdogs hitters have managed to get past the block, the defence has been there for Suntory. So use the blockers if you can to get as many points as possible. Let's see if it works here. Clever. Kento Miura, seeing everybody set up for his big swing, just goes to the finesse of a tip. And the scores are level. Several players now into double figures, so Ran has 10, but Miura and Mazerski leading the scoring on 11 apiece. This is the last thing Wolfdogs need for them to lose their serving rhythm again. So we got Mazerski followed by Kliuka, 2 serves to come. Then there's 2 rotations where Wolfdogs need to score. So they've got to get rid of these 2 servers without any damage, and that'll do nicely. Beguera with the tip, understanding that Mazerski's the defender, and as good as the 2 meters and 18, 7-foot 2-inch tall opposite is in backcourt, and he does put a decent shift in. He was never getting anywhere near that one from Beguera. Miura. Good serve. Kliuka tested. Mazerski throws up a high one. Oh, it's a remarkable hit. That is a remarkable shot. And Kliuka just defies a few little physical principles in this one and turns it into a backcourt swing. So Suntory save one. Now Kliuka looking to build a lead. No, he puts it long, so this is Wolfdogs' chance. Quite sure what Kliuka wanted to challenge there, because it was nowhere near the line. 7 apiece. It's Suntory's turn now to try and get through these next 2 rotations without losing points. There's one though from Beguera, ace, nice work. Second ace of the game for him. He's hit one beautiful line shot past Kliuka. Now he's beaten him down the seam. between he and Nagawa. That was definitely on Kliuka's side of things. Another point here would be useful. Clips the net. Overpass has to be defended by Fukatsu, and that's not great. That's not great from Ichikawa. And they're punished for it. Nobody quite knew what their job was there for Wolfdogs. Nobody quite did it. Nice finish from Onodera. Taishi's name getting chanted by the crowd. His hybrid serve today has been particularly effective down the line against Mizumachi. This time he hits Ishikawa. Mizumachi allowed to run free. Takes it over the top of Sekita. I'm not saying Wolfdogs can't score in the other rotations. It's just that this is a mismatch for them. If they can get it into transition, it's a mismatch on both wings, so golden opportunity to score. Can Ryota Dendo put the ball in with conviction? He can. Pass is good from Nagawa. Nice defense. Here's the chance. Well, he took it out of the middle there to Bagheera, which means you're taking on the tallest blocker in that rotation, but it's worked. Useful point. Nicely run. Oh, wow! Sato, for the second time in the set, shuts down run. And Wolfdogs Nagoya have built themselves another lead. Kliuka and Mazurski back court. Wolfdogs making the most of this rotation, and they score again for a 4-point lead. And Olivier Lecar might be thinking timeout. He is. Second timeout taken then by the Suntory coach, and he won't be happy about this. There's that mismatch. Mizumachi straight over the top of Sekita. Onodera with a bit of advice for his fellow middle blocker, number 14, Renaniki. Two very good blocking moves to slow down both Run and Mazurski, both resulting in a point. Lovely, lovely short off-pace serve. And Mazurski gets the job done, but Wolfdogs Nagoya have made maximum points out of that last rotation. So 2 or 3 points anytime you get to the service line when you should be scoring is always useful. Now it becomes this game of survival as Mazurski hits the front line and Sekita goes to the backcourt. That'll do for starters. Wolfdogs need to see these next 3 rotations off without losing points. Great touch, another chance to score. Taken, well played. Taito Mizumachi with the finish, but super stuff from Ishikawa. Been overshadowed by Agawa in today's game, Ishikawa, but that was a good defensive touch. And again, chance to go even further away. Not quite taken, but they've got a real opportunity now. And that is too good from Mizumachi. What a change in the game. 2 timeouts gone for Lacar, so he's rather restricted in the things that he can do from here. Might be tempted to throw a sub in. He is. Kenji Sato replaces Ren Oniki. Well, 5-point lead in sets 1 and 2 for Suntory. Something that Wolfdogs Nagoya were completely unable to close down. Let's see if Suntory can find a way back from here. There's still time, there's still points. Good pass from Ishikawa, well, good-ish. And a very good hit from Kento Miura. And this is what they've got to do. They've got to keep that scoreboard turning, get rid of Kliuka, get rid of Mizerski, and then try and maximise points in those 2 rotations, which could fall at a nice point in this set for Wolfdogs. They're in the driving seat here. Just horrible stuff off the top of the net there. Kliuka falling to the floor, and they have saved the day with a massive block. Mizerski next to the new boy on court, Kenji Sato. Wolfdogs really missing an opportunity here. Right, the left-hander, Sato to serve. Good hit, good pass, Ishikawa. Not quite sure why Suntory are going at the libero at the moment. Stop putting pressure on Mizumachi and on Bugera. Impact in the game so far, Sato. So we're back to this double serve run from Mizerski, then Kliuka, that Nagoya have to negotiate. And that is, well, I mean, that's literally unplayable. That is a stunning piece of volleyball. Bugera nowhere near even moving. And a timeout from Valerio Baldovan. So he's gambled his second timeout early because he understands that this Mizerski service run potentially takes the set away from them again. I know they're 4 up, but if Suntory can get back to 2 down, maybe 1 down, then it's a different ball game. $14 points for Dmitry Mizerski. Leads the scoring charts. Miura on 12, Onodera and Ran on 10 apiece. Huge. And it's going to be a call in favour of Suntory. Fukatsu trying to protest he was going to set that, but well, he's not happy about it, but he's the backcourt setter, so I think he is anyway. Three points the lead. Good set. Good tip. Out. Oh dear, Bugera really needed to finish there. And against Sakita as well. He's missed it. Missed the tip, collided with Sakita. It's all going on. Suntory back to just a 2-point deficit. And for Wolfdogs Nagoya, things getting a bit nasty now. So 6-point lead is reduced to a 3-point lead. Kliuka to come. Wolfdogs Nagoya still have a great opportunity here to close the set out. make a transition play or an ace from Kento Miura on this ball. Catches the net again, Kliuka defeated. But not on the response. That is one of the best shots I've seen him hit all year. And he's hit a few good shots in this game. That's classy Kliuka. Or classic Kliuka, however you want to say it. That isn't. Don't think he needed to make Wolfdogs play there. He had every right to go for that serve. Now it's very important for Wolfdogs Nagoya that they do put the ball in court, and understanding the importance of these next couple of rotations, Olivier Lacar gets rid of Kliuka and brings in a better passer in Soshi Fujinaka, the backup libero, in a regular shirt, so it's a regular substitution. And the ball wafted out of play by Bugera. These are not serves that Wolfdogs can afford to miss. Not through these two rotations. Right, anything from Taishi Onodera here, even if it's just a single point, is a bonus. See Mizumachi getting himself ready. He thinks it's coming his way. He's right. And that is a net touch, unfortunately, for Wolfdogs Nagoya from Hidomi Fukatsu. Okay, down to just a single point lead then. The one break. He's pretty unlucky there. He nearly got away with it. Miss hit from Taishi Onodera, but as I said, just the 1 point from Taishi would be a massive bonus. He's achieved that. Wolfdogs now have just a single break on Suntory. And this is their last real chance to score. Good dig from Bugera. Got to be put away here. Oh, block is excellent. Kenji Sato, the lefty, knows one to beat one, and he sets it up nicely on the southpaw Miura. Little unlucky there from Miura. It was a tough ball to put away, but very nicely blocked. Challenge it is then for a net touch, I would imagine, from Valerio Baldovan, but I think this challenge might be just so that he can get another word with his players coming into the business end of this third set. Preaching the gospel of block-out hits. It was never really a serious challenge. That's the third one he's lost in the match. It was just to slow the game down. It's a very good block from Kenji Sato. Okay, pressure grows now. So first of all, you've got Mazurski into the front line with Ran and Sato. Then Kliuka will return. And Sekita puts it in. Bugera passes well. What a dig. What a dig. I know it's disappeared into the crowd, but to even get hands on that is amazing. Takahashi, though, can't contain the power of Kento Miura, and in their individual head-to-head, the two Japanese superstars, Miura is winning that comfortably. One break remains then. Well, he likes to set those back sets to Kenji Sato, and Sato is normally so crisp at hitting them, but Sekita gives it to him and he puts it out of play, and there's danger on this rotation that they will lose points again. They lost a lot of them last time around when Renoniki was the middleman, and that is, I mean, from a player as experienced as Hideyomi Fukatsu, that is a real no-no. He's just completely let Suntory off the hook. They've managed to get back to a double break, but it's still going to be tricky for Wolfdogs to get the set under the radar from here. They're going to have to really push. Good pass. Out. Kento Miura is running out of luck here. Now, is it a touch? No, it has been called out. Valerio Baldovan not issuing a challenge. Lead is reduced to 1, just a single break then remains for Wolfdogs after a 6-point lead earlier in the set. Can Ram put it in play? He can, with power. Good dig from Sakita on Miura. And nicely banged. What a touch from Bagheera. Oh, fantastic from Wolfdogs Nagoya. Gutsy stuff. That was a big hit from Kliuka. Block slowed it down, but Bagheera had a lot of work to do to get there. He got there, and then the ball to Mizumachi was put away. And now Mizumachi at the service line with a chance to close out the set. Genuine opportunity for Wolfdogs now. What a serve, what a pass. And what a hit from Kliuka. This is brilliant volleyball again. They've managed to negotiate Mizumachi's serve without any problem. Hell of a pass. Sato, left-hander from the baseline. Good pass from Ichikawa. Oh, has it touched something? Sato says it has. Referee agrees. And no challenge forthcoming from Suntory. So unbelievably, Wolfdogs do manage to find a way to a set point. 2 of them. Sato, who missed his last couple of serves, is out. In comes Frenchman Timothy Cuttle. Entrusted with a tricky job here, but Carl is an excellent server. Gets good pace on the ball with good accuracy. That's exactly what Wolfdogs need here. 2 set points then. Oh dear. Pressure was too much. Carl misses. And now Wolfdogs have to get it done on a side out, but if you'd offered them this at the end of the second set, they would have taken it. This is a real chance to get back in the game. Unfortunately, it's against Mazerski. Good hit, good pass. This for the set. Oh, what a dig from Mazerski. Gets the return, whacks it hard. Fukatsu, brilliant. And now Kento Miura wins it. What a rally to finish the set. Just brilliant volleyball. Absolutely fabulous stuff. And Wolfdogs Nagoya show real character to keep themselves in this match. Thrashed in the opening 2 sets, but 25-23 in the third means we play on to a 4th. Well, Dmitry Mazerski, he's just made one of the digs of the season from his point of view. And it wasn't quite enough. Suntory with a good comeback there, but Wolfdogs Nagoya showing real tenacity to resist. play, Wolfdogs, and as that highlights reel showed, they produced some very good volleyball as part of that set. The danger is that even a 6-point lead didn't look enough, and Suntory nearly proved that that was the case. Game on though. How much of a game, I think, is down to whether Wolfdogs can engineer another lead, because if they can't get away, and convincingly away from Suntory, their big players can still produce these flurries of points. So a third 3-1 game, or a fourth even 3-1 game of the season, is on the cards here for Suntory. Just the 1-5 setter at Wolfdogs the last time they played, but all 4 games this season have gone Suntory Sunbirds' way. Seriously restricted offence, well played Wolfdogs to put a lid on that rampant performance by Suntory. Quick look at the 2 top scorers. The right side is Mazerski and Miura with 14 each. Right then, Mizumachi, the first man at the service line to start set number 4. Can he get Wolfdogs off to a good one? And the team in black, the visitors, Wolfdogs Nagoya, back in the match for the moment. Oh, great touch. We're seeing some wonderful defence in this game and some really good transition hitting. Bugera makes the most of the chance. Well, we're on one of those rotations where Wolfdogs can expect to score. Sakita front court. Renaniki is back in for Kenji Sato. And Mizumachi hits another fantastic serve. Out of play from Dmitry Mazerski. And Wolfdogs getting off to a really positive start here. It's risky from Olivier Lecard because he's putting his team into the match in a rotation where they are losing points. And Mizumachi is the server that can punish them. Fantastic hit, pressure, good swing. Good swing from Mazerski, really took his time over that one, lined up Bugera. And a useful side out for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka in the red. Sakita down the line, out of system. Mazerski gets a hand on Bugera. Hot, Sato trying to mess with the blockers. Miura can't put it away, Sato can't put it away. Run, as it so often is the case, can. Ball from Ichikawa, a little bit of a throw from Sato, doesn't get hold of it, and Mazerski clips it cross court, this time with less pace, and makes sure it goes in. He's missed 2 cross court balls in this game, and this one he puts in. Wolfdogs Nagoya have to resist any move made in the early phases of this set by Suntory. That'll do nicely. Kento Miura is putting on a good performance today for his Wolfdogs team, and he has equalled Mazerski at the top on 15 points each. Next 2 best scorers are Ran and Kliuka on 11. Onodera has played well, he's on 10. Suntory middleman. Still in play. Well, Mazerski says touch. And with the threat of the challenge, the confession from the blocker is immediate. Mazerski's got to 16. Run with the serve. Kliuka into the front court. Big blocking lineup. And it's well negotiated by Bugera. I don't know why Renaniki is committing on that block in that rotation. Miura off pace, Kliuka with a good pass. It's well defended. Is it in? Well, Aniki putting up a decent block there, and he's managed to catch the sideline, and at last a smile from him because he's not had a great day. Fukatsu stopped, 5-4, Aniki to serve. Onodera into the front line. So this is probably the best three players right now in the game in that front court, and that's just a horrible serve from Aniki. Guerra goes for the line serve that produced the ace in set one, but misses. So a couple of rotations of pressure serves now for Wolfdogs to resist. Mizerski the first. Just too much. And the problem is, if he can get it down that seam, if he can find that gap between the two passes, the split-second decisions they have to make, they're going to get in each other's way. Clips the net. Great pass from Mizumachi. He's put it out. Oh boy, they needed that. They really needed that point, but Mizumachi's missed it. Might get a challenge here, yeah. So first movement from either of the coaches in set four is a challenge. Oh, Valerio Baldovan, he hasn't won one yet in 3 attempts. Terrific crowd once again here in the Ukini Arena. So the U and the R from the Wolfdogs section of the crowd. There aren't many in here. Followed by the applause and joy from the Suntory element. Challenge lost. Challenge number 4 lost for Valerio Baldovan today. And his team now in all sorts of bother. Good controlled serve. Good pass. Kliuka gets a piece of it into the antenna. He does recover the ball, but it had already gone out of play, and Miura scores again. Well, that's how high and how long Kliuka stays in the air. He managed to block it twice. Oh, wow! Mizumachi has just put that right into the gigantic shoes of Mizerski. What a block. Good recovery this from Wolfdogs. And a chance to go level. No, free ball. Kliuka's enjoying himself today. He's looked like a different player at times. His timing, his back, his height off the floor is just superb. And on days like this, Igor Kliuka must be an utter nightmare for blockers to deal with. Good pass from Ichikawa. And that gives Miura another chance to swing. Neither of the tall Russians able to get defence mobilised. Right then, scoring chances. 2 rotations for Wolfdogs Nagoya. Ball's got to go in. And it goes in with pressure. Ace. off the overhand pass from Igor Kliuka, just checking there with Ogawa that it was going in. It was well in, he was almost on the 3-metre line. Little tickle from Sekita to cause the problem. Good defence, nice touch from Ichikawa. Mizumachi then, oh, he's blocked. Once again, the left side for Wolfdogs Nagoya taking on the angle rather than going at Sekita in that particular rotation. And they've paid the price. Onodera gets his 11th point of the game. Serve well today, Taishin Onodera. That's out. No touch on the block, and there is a loss of rhythm for Suntory since returning from the dressing room. No doubt about it, they've lost some rhythm. Ten-apiece. Well played Wolfdogs to get back into it. Great serve, what a pass from Kliuka. Good defence from Fukatsu, high ball, tight on the net. Miura hits it well. Defence is brilliant from Mizerski, and the reuse ball, oh goodness me, Aniki again. He's not having a good day, Aniki. Monster rallies, coming back. Defended by Kliuka. Mizerski blocked. Wonderful stuff from Sato and Wolfdogs. And they take a very well-earned lead. Great risk on that read from Sato, and it's paid off. Reached way into the angle. Big side out this for Suntory. Big serve required from Mizumachi. Delivered. What a ball. Well, out of system. Suntory are still looking very impressive. And Sekita coming up with a very good set under pressure. Ran doing the rest for his 12th point of the game. Good block. And very good movement. Mizerski's played that tight to the net, back to the net, and then managed to get his feet out and wide, and makes a good shot. Suntory recover. Fourth set turning into the best contest we've seen so far, in terms of both teams playing well at the same time. Another brilliant piece of defensive work, and I think Aniki has gone into the net. It's his fault again. Brilliant from Sekita. Sato with the apology for hitting the Suntory setter. Well, that looked like a tough call to me. No damage done as Sato puts another one out of play. He hasn't served well today. Just too good. A thunderous ace. He doesn't often go full power from the service line, but every so often he'll surprise the passers with a serve like that. Ran Takahashi. 14-12 break for Suntory. And again, it's coming back. And it's got a reuse. Bagheera well played. And Miura makes the shot count. That was not an easy point to win, and Wolfdogs have done very well there. reversal from Miura. He knows how important this service run is. Can he find a bunch of points here? Wolfdogs need it. Good serve. Chicken wing dig from Miura. Everybody gets out of the way, and Ichikawa can't quite get there. He's grown into the game, hasn't he, Ichikawa? His passing today has been excellent. Right, Naniki not making much of a contribution at the moment. Puts it into play. The overpass is dispatched. Well, probably one of the easiest serves in the league to pass. And Ayman Bulgara has passed it straight into the window of Igor Kliuka, who outjumps Fukatsu easily. 16-13, timeout called by Valerio Baldaran. His team once again in a tricky spot.
Next ball. Okay, let's go. Serve on you and let's go. Next time, man.
Three-point cushion, ominous for Wolfdogs, excellent for Suntory. Ryota Dendo with a brutal hit through the middle, stops the scoring run. Suntory in a position now to really push hard over these next couple of rotations. Wolfdogs have to make sure that they either score or at the worst just side their way out. Really nice. Ichikawa thought he had Ran Takahashi lined up there. It's another wonderful hit. Okay, Mazurski followed by Kliuka. We're back to that same situation for Wolfdogs. Survival here. How do you survive that? I just don't know. He's hit a couple of serves in this game that were literally unplayable. That one right at the feet of non-passer. He's not really in that lineup, Miura. He's just there to make up a flat four to take space away, but gets completely exposed on that. Second timeout called by Valerio Baldaran, and it's another gamble aimed purely at stopping Mazurski running away with the match.
Just short ball here. Only short ball. Only short ball.
Suggesting they shuffle and go to three. Just try and shift this passing unit into the angle that Mazurski's hitting. The problem is if he changes that angle, you're leaving parts of the court exposed. And I think they're just telling Kento Miura here that he might just shuffle out of the way after presenting. He'll move. Unbelievable. They've been called on a rotation here, I think. Oh dear. Miura completely out of it now. They were jumping around in the receive, and they just forgot who was where. Another defence by Suntory, and Kliuka. Does he get a piece of that block? He's convinced he has. So referee has given the point the way of Wolfdogs Nagoya. I think the scorer's already given it the other way. But let's see. A very important challenge. This time, though, it's Olivier Lecar that has made the request, and the blocker hasn't confessed to the touch. Yeah, Igor Kliuka's lost the point. Olivier Lecar has lost the challenge. It wasn't block touch, it was in or out. Very near. Just about tapped away off the block by Taishion Adera. 5-point lead for Suntory looks a lot more convincing than the 5-point lead that Wolfdogs had in set 3, although they got it over the line. Sato way out. Yuka to serve. If they can take a point here, they're just about home and dry. Weird deflection off the net. Good defense from Kliuka. Into play by Ogawa. Hoisted high and over. And a free net dispatch. Not just a free net, a free court, because Ogawa was in the front line of the crowd there, trying to get himself back in play. So we're back to what is a positive couple of rotations for the Wolfdogs team. Soshi Fujinaka comes in to replace Kliuka. Mazurski's in the back line. As chances go, it's a relative thin one, but it is a chance for Wolfdogs to score. Very good. Well, Sato has had Ran's number today. That's the third time he's blocked him. 1 point recovered by Wolfdogs. And then Hideyomi Fukatsu does that for the second time in this match, with his team needing points on this rotation. He's just floated it out. Regular substitution brings Kenji Sato into the play, and Kenji will be on strictly as a blocker. Taishion Adera then will serve. Suntory have no setter on court. Four points in it shouldn't be a problem at all, but this man could cause a problem. Taito Mizumachi has been hitting some incredible serves today. Another one. Defended. Brilliant stuff. Good pick up from Fujinaka on Sato, and I think Mazurski's long. He is. I'm somewhat surprised by the buzzer going off, but it's not for a challenge. It's for Olivier Lecar's first timeout. As the score and the lead moves slightly more in favour of Wolfdogs Nagoya. Not much, but still 3 points down. Mazurski 20 points now, by the way. You're at 19. They remain neck and neck at the top of the scoring charts. That wasn't a technical discussion at the timeout. It was just to let's stop it for a while and restart. Put a doubt in the mind of the server. Played well today, Taishion Adera. points for the Suntory middleman. Best of the middles. Sato the next best for Wolfdogs on 9. Right, Mizumachi to go to work again. Ace is required. He's given that everything. Good coverage. Good coverage by Agawa. Nice attention to detail from the libero. Good finish from Takahashi. Ferocious hit. Well defended by Sakita. Can't get to that one though. Miura levels with Mazerski. 20-all. Well, this game might not be continuing for much longer, but it certainly whets the appetite for tomorrow's fixture. I think we're going to have another really good game on our hands on day 2. Once again, in comes the replacement server, middle blocker Masahiro Yamazaki to serve and play backcourt. Substitution comes to nothing. 4 match points then for Suntory to garner their 32nd victory of the season. And they've got a massive block in the front line, Suntory, to make it happen. No. Captain Run deciding he's going to go for it from the service line. Misses, so one side out required, but they do have the best options available with the exception of Onodera. Yuka and Mazerski front court. Now in comes a player that's had less of a role this season, which is a shame because Kita Yamazaki is a great player. 5th season Wolfdogs man, but hasn't had a lot of court time. Ball out of play, no joy for Wolfdogs top scorer Kento Miura, and as it sails out of bounds, 25-21 is the 4th set result. Suntory Sunbirds Osaka get their 4th 3-1 victory of the season over Wolfdogs Nagoya and will remain firmly in control of the regular Daido Life SV.League season. Served well today, Mizumachi. Thought he played really well. And the other big scorer for Wolfdogs, Kento Miura, did his job on 20 points. Mazerski finishes on 20 as well. Ran on 15, Kliuka 13, Onodera 12, and then Ugera and Mizumachi 10 apiece. Both of them will have to go just that little bit better in terms of being error-free tomorrow if they're going to get anything out of this fixture. But for today, here in the Okini Arena in Maishima, it's another good win for Suntory Sunbirds Osaka, who stretch their lead just that little bit further at the top of the table. 3-1 then to Suntory over Wolfdogs, and we're going to do it all again tomorrow. Same place, same time for what should be another cracking watch. Suntory then, with their victory celebration, they win as we leave our coverage here at the Okini. Thanks for watching here on VBTV. From me, Simon Golding, I'll say goodbye. See you again soon.